Serye, ang Usaping Balita Media Forum. Si Congressman Golez ang ating panawin sa malang ito. Congressman, magandang umaga po sa inyo. Itong bigay na amnesty sa mga Magdalo soldiers, ito po ba'y makatutulong para mapahinto ang military adventurism sa ating bansa o makaka-encourage pa lang? Wala raw napaparusahan sa mga nag-polita.
Well, titingnan mo yung mga subject ng amnesty. Yan yung amnesty na nangyari noong 2003, noong 2006, yung, at saka yung sa Peninsula, no? 2008 yata yun. Yung mga sumali doon sa July 2003, yung sa Makati, those people already suffered the consequences. Pero ang tagal na nila, marami sila nawalan ng trabaho, nawalan ng hanap buhay, nakulong na matagal, including Senator Trillanes. Nasira yung career nila. They've suffered enough already. Kaya hindi lang pwede amnesty yung pang ibibigay mo immediately after the event. Dapat, if you look at the history of amnesty, medyo nagtatagal muna. Sa Civil War, for example, hindi na Civil War, nangyari yan, nag-end yan 1865. Yung amnesty was given 3-4 years after. Yung mga coup plotters, yung mga nag-coup, noong panahon ni President Cory Aquino, nangyari yung amnesty mga 1993, 1994. So they suffered enough already. So to me, ang importante dito, yung peace and reconciliation objective of the amnesty. That to me is very important. Ang objective dito is to get them back into the mainstream and make them very productive assets of society, instead of the government spending a lot of money running after them or prosecuting them and probably even further radicalizing them. To me, this is the best way. Incidentally, I was the crisis manager of the government as National Security Advisor when the Oakwood mutiny happened. So, kung merong tao na naramdaman talaga yung tensyon ng mga panahon na yun, I was one of them. In spite of the tension, in spite of the anxiety, in spite of the stress caused by the Oakwood mutiny on my part as a National Security Advisor, I welcome very much this Amnesty Proclamation.
Congressman Golez, kung ating i-review yung mga pinagkalooban ng amnestiya, yung dating MNLF na ginawang sundalo, yung dating rebeldeng kaliwa na binigyan ng amnesty, mga dating sundalo rebelde na binigyan ng amnesty. Nasaan sila ngayon? Sila ba'y totoong nabalik sa mainstream o mas lalo ng sumigasig kung sa kanilang pakikibaka sa gobyerno?
Sa tingnan natin yung kanan, no? Marami sila nila. Halos lahat. Naging tahimik na. Sina Rex Robles, very good example, is Senator Hunasan, who's a very active member of the Senate. Many of them even occupied high positions in the Philippine government, and for example, one very good example is June Abinido, naging Deputy Director General ng Philippine National Police at naging active sa Dangerous Drugs Board. And he, in this capacity as, I think, the Executive Director of the Dangerous Drugs Board, he helped a lot in addressing a very serious problem of Philippine society. Marami naging mayor, di ba? Naging mayor pa. I know someone became a mayor somewhere in Bicol, sa Pacon, Sorsogon. So, tapos sila sa Turong Campo. Nakita niya man how effective he was as a member of the House of Representatives. In fact, nami-miss ko nga sa Turong Campo in the House of Representatives. I miss his wisdom in the debates and in the deliberations now going on in the House of Representatives.
So walang masamang karanasan ang pamahalaang Pilipinas sa mga binigyan ng amnestiya.
Hindi naman perfect yan, no? Siyempre, pero iba nalilis pa rin. Yung MNLF, yung iba sumama sa MLF, yung iba nagulo pa rin. But in general, we have to look at the general result of the Amnesty Proclamations of the past. Kaysa gumasta ka ng bilyon-bilyon para labanan yung mga hinahanap mo na dahil siguro sa silakbo ng damdamin, pumalsa laban sa gobyerno, sabi ko, gumasta ka ng bilyon, magkamatayan pa, an Amnesty Proclamation is still a much better alternative.
Mean you say na ito yung pinakamurang alternatibo?
Diyan tawag natin, pag sinabi mong cost-benefit, it is the most cost-effective way of addressing a problem of society.
Sir, the government has been fighting the insurgency, both the left and the MNLF and now the MILF and even RAF. And if you look at the bill or the cost of it since 1969, how would you say the amount would have reached ₱1 trillion pesos already, or even more? That some fact has been done to change the strategy of government right now?
Hindi pa maaabot ng trillion yan. Kasi if you look at the budget of the armed forces, hindi naman lahat yan nakalagay para dyan. You're talking of, I remember when I became a congressman for the first time, the national budget was less than 200 billion at that time. So if you look at from 1992 or even 1997, the trillion level became a reality only maybe about 3-4 years ago. So ang total budget over the past 20 years would not amount to 10 trillion. So hindi mo pwedeng 10% ng budget nakalaan dyan.
Sir, but from 1969, sir,
Kasi maliliit ang mga budget pa rin naman. If you look at the peso amount, hindi abot ng trillion. Billions, yes, definitely. That's why I was saying all along that an amnesty alternative should always be considered by the government. The objective, if you look at the history of mankind, from the time of the Greeks, by the way, amnestia is a Greek word. In France, after the execution of Charles II, the government gave an amnesty to those who rebelled against the government, except for those who were responsible for the execution of King Charles. In March 1815, the government also granted amnesty in France. So it's as old as the history of mankind, and if you look at the history, it's also very effective. Tingnan mo yung